everyone, Natsumayo is here again, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why your community is everything. Your community, the community that you're in determines the level of success you have. Really, community is the only thing, and it's the only thing that matters. So who am I? My name is Natsumayo. I run a company called Raises.com where we help multifamily syndicators and business buyers set up and raise $10 million plus for their new funds and acquisitions. So when it comes to all this, why is your community so important? Because I mean, if you're somebody who's been syndicating real estate or working on some small M&A deals and you haven't, you're not able to get to that next level, you're not able to close investors, or maybe you've been doing syndications by the hundreds or by the dozens, and you weren't able to set up an asset management vehicle or a pool of capital for you to deploy freely. There's several things that are preventing you from doing that. One of them could easily be your environment. So environment is really everything when it comes to working on your deals, raising capital, and doing all this. So when it comes to your environment, I played football at a university called Queen's University in Canada. And when we played, so it's like one level below pro. So but when we played and we had something called training camp, we had to really, we always made sure that whenever we practiced, we always isolated ourselves from everybody, and we lowered the friction for us to, basically there was no partying, no anything, no distractions. It was just football and then the football classes, and we basically slept in the hostel where we did it, and the gym was right there and everything was right there, and we just focused and spent basically 14 hours a day there. And it's the same thing when everyone was a high performer, there were athletes everywhere, and we're really locked down and focused. And the same thing applies. The reason why we were able to focus is because we removed all the distractions from our environments. So similarly, like a lot of people are setting up funds and they want to do something that they haven't done before, but they're like the best person. Like, it's really funny because we had a guy in San Francisco who's finished some syndications, and in his network, he's one of the best people who syndicates real estate. But coming to us, he didn't know how to even structure a basic private placement, or people who haven't set up a fund, they don't know how to do that. So the thing and the problem and the concern here is, whenever somebody is the best in their environments and they're the ones who are leading it, they haven't been challenged. And it doesn't matter how many deals you've done, or how long you've been in the game, or your assets under management, or the amounts of syndications you've done. There's always a bottleneck, and there's always something that's preventing you from getting to that next level, whether it be setting up your own fund or asset management vehicle for you to deploy in real estate, or mergers and acquisitions deals in a certain sector, right? And so if there's something that's preventing you from doing that, it's usually because you haven't spoken to the people that are doing the thing of which you want to do. So the solution is to have communities of people that are doing the thing that you want to do, who are setting up the funds, who are structuring their deals in a different way, in a way that you don't understand, and they're doing things that you haven't done before or even considered possible. And by making this leap, and by talking to these people, meeting them, and then not talking to people who are basically being the dumbest person in the room when it comes to the thing that you don't know, then you're able to evolve to that next level. And that's pretty much it. You just change your environment. And the main way I'm talking about changing your environment is sometimes your physical environment could help, but really it's also the people who you speak to and the people who you work with. Because if you're working with people that are still syndicating real estates or small deals or doing one-off deals and whatever, then how are you supposed to talk to people who have actually gone to that next level? So this one is a really simple video. The point I'm making is, you have to push yourself by being in places and being with people, in the doors of the people who are doing the thing of which you want to do. And you have to physically meet up with them, talk to them, and move with them all the time, right? So that's the main thing. And the second thing is, when it comes to your environment, it's actually possible that you have things in your environment that are potentially holding you back. So, for example, the amount of knowledge that people have, the amount of friction that it takes for you to get those pieces of knowledge. Like, for example, when we changed our environment, back when I was playing football, we actually, we had this stadium right there. Like, you just had to wake up and then the stadium and the gym was right there. There was no hesitation. And imagine if we had to like go drive to the gym or go, to take a bunch of buses to the gym. It's just too much friction, forget that. So it's the same way. It's like, having the subscription agreements and having, investors and fund managers right in your front door, like right in your neighborhood. Even spending more money, moving to a more expensive neighborhood, taking first class, doing whatever we have to do so that when you wake up, you see people that are just, closing deals left, right, and center. One of the groups that we're in, people are just closing deals like you're just sending like $40 million transactions, $20 million transactions, just like paperwork, like clockwork. And some people, they haven't even seen that large of a transaction, even 10% of it closed in their life. And they've been doing this for like 40 years. Some people haven't even seen that. So the point I'm making is the more you familiarize yourself with high performance, the more it becomes a habit and a way of life and a minimum hygiene standard. And when you put yourself in that position, then you won't be that intimidated by private placement memorandums, by subscription agreements, by JPLP structure, by waterfall structure, the hurdle rates. You would know actually what investors want, because the more you speak to investors, the more you see deals done by investors, the more you talk to investors, the more the feedback loop runs. And when the feedback loop goes, then you'll be able to see, okay, here are the cause-effect relationships behind why these deals work, why these deals don't, right? Because too often, many people, they will stay in their corner and then imagine what they think the market and think investors would want. But the best way to know is to actually go to the markets, talk to them, and see what they say. And if you're able to see what they say yes, they say no, they say change this, they say change that. You talk to people that have other funds, they say change this, they say change that. You work with people that have similar contexts to what you want to have. Like you want to set up a real estate fund in San Francisco, and you talk to more people that have real estate funds in San Francisco, then you're most likely to have the right hypothesis to know what people would want. So ultimately, I think I've said everything I need to say. Your environment is not the most important thing, it's the only thing. And when you change your environment, you hang out with people that are performing at the level you want, you talk to them, you get feedback, you familiarize yourself with the concepts, with the paperwork, with the deal flow, and you remain the most inept person when it comes to the things that you want to grow at in your network. Then you join a network of winners. And if that's something that you'd like to do, just head to raises.com, and maybe that's something that could happen. But outside of that, change your environments, hang out with people that are closing the deals that you want to close, talk to investment bankers, private equity fund managers, and people who are directly investing capital, network with them aggressively and furiously if you want to get to that next level. And if you're the smartest person in your network, it may feel good for your ego, but no matter how much experience you have, no matter how many millions you have, or no matter even if you have zero or you have 100 million, there's always something that could challenge you to go to that next level. And to do it, you have to change your environment. So with this, I hope you change your environment, and we'll see you in the next one.